I'm going to address a comment that was left on my last video. This is not going to be a pleasant video. I would suggest that you don't watch it if you have trigger warnings. Triggers of any kind, abuse of any kind bothers you. Don't watch this video because I'm not looking to trigger or hurt anybody. I'm simply needing to get things out of me. So the comment this person is asking, because I had said that much of my memory is very blotchy and I don't remember a lot. I have fragments of pain that sometimes connect and give me a story compared with what other people have told me. And so this person is asking if I remember defecating myself at Disney World, which is something that they know because my Aunt Kathy told everybody that I apparently defecated myself at an amusement park. Here's the thing. The reason they're asking this specific question, the reason my aunt told this specific story was as a form of humiliation. They abused me to the point that I messed myself, and then they retold the story as a form of degradation and humiliation to continue putting me down for something they caused by neglecting to properly care for me. I don't remember that specific incident. I remember my aunt's video humiliating me over it. What I can tell you is that abused children, especially sexually abused children, often have a hard time controlling their bodily functions. There's a lot going on down there that's not supposed to be going on. And so because they started abusing me when I was an infant, I had problems with wetting the bed. I had problems with holding my urine. I had problems sometimes with shitting myself, with defecating myself. We weren't being fed properly either. My mother cooked, but she was not she would put so much butter and grease and oil in our food. I understand why I was 300 pounds in high school when I think back on the way that my mother cooked. Even afterwards, when we took her out to eat, she would pour so much salt on her food that we would be questioning how she was eating it. And it was... So it wasn't like I was being fed the healthiest of diets, which can cause internal distress in a child or in an adult. Again, the only reason they're asking these questions is a form of humiliation and degradation, and I am refusing to allow my past abuse to be a form of humiliation. I refuse to stop speaking out about it just because they say it should be embarrassing. It's not. Because I know that a child does not do that for no reason at all. If a child or a teenager, at this point I think I was like 14, if a teenager is shitting themselves, there is something wrong. Physically or mentally, there is something wrong. And if you, as the adult in the situation, as the elder in the situation, if you are humiliating and degrading and putting down that child that clearly has something wrong with them, you are a big part of the reason that child has something wrong with them, because you are in charge and you are responsible for making sure that that child is okay, physically and mentally. You did not do that, and in your failings, you chose to put me down. My dad used to do this. When I was a kid, I had trouble breathing. I would just straight up not be able to breathe in that trailer because my mom smoked cigarettes. Mom and dad smoked weed. They didn't clean properly, so there was always dust. I would come over there and simply not be able to breathe. And I can remember my father making fun of me because my lips were turning purple from lack of oxygen. The sides of my lips were purple. And my dad said that it was proof I was a bitch because I was part dog. Because dogs have purple lips. His child in front of him was not receiving enough oxygen, and his response was that of a bully. And that's the response of my aunt now, when she's hearing about these things that she maybe didn't know about back then, but she can't be bothered to be the adult in the situation. She can't be asked to be the elder, to be the wizened individual, to look past what she thinks into what is most likely actually happening. She hated me. She's always hated me. When I was a child, she hated me. When I was a teenager, she hated me. Now that I'm a grown woman, she hates me. So she's not going to be able to look into my past or what was going on with me to ask why I messed myself on a trip. She's only going to be able to see that disgusting, shitting bitch that she hates so fucking much. And it doesn't matter why it happened. It only matters that it happened and it's embarrassing and humiliating and I should be ashamed. Well, I'm not, bitch. I'm not. You should have been properly caring for me. My family should have been properly caring for me. I had head lice for 18 years. They want me to be humiliated by that, but they were the ones who were unable to take care of the problem when I was under their guidance, when I was under their control. The head lice situation went away when I was 19 and I shaved my fucking head. And my grandmother got mad at me for it, but I was an adult and finally making my choice. The things that my aunt tells you that you will bring up to make fun of me are almost all going to be a result of the abuse and the neglect that I was experiencing when she was a part of my life. And anybody with any sort of common sense will be able to understand that. The people who watch my videos are not big on common sense. They have come from a cyberbullying channel, a group of cyberbullying channels that is working with my family to discredit me and everything I say. And so it doesn't matter to them that it's very clearly an effect of abuse and neglect for a teenager or a child to be defecating themselves in that kind of situation. Anybody else would be asking further questions about the home life. But because it's this specific group, they're just trying to use it to humiliate. It won't work. I can show why abuse or mental illness would cause that kind of reaction. And anybody who was willing to listen could understand.